Welcome to All Access, your backstage pass to local theater and live events taking place in Lake County. From a new theater production to bands performing at local venues, we've got your all access to the latest and greatest live entertainment in our lakefront community. Hello, and welcome to All Access. I'm your host, Christy Bell Bolick. Today, we are with Bay Street Players at the State Theater in beautiful downtown Eustis. We're getting a sneak peek at their magical production of Peter Pan. Join us. Why did you decide to direct this play?
You know, it was kind of decided for me. I had done a few projects here at the theater before and expressed an interest in continuing to work for the theater, and they sent me out the offer, would you like to direct Peter Pan? And I jumped on it right away, happily.
Awesome. And how many productions have you done here at the theater?
This actually will only be my third production that I've been involved with, all starting back this year with Once Upon a Mattress. Then my wife and I helped out with the Dolly Awards, their sort of awards presentation of appreciation, and then this. What was one of the technical concerns that you had doing this actual production? Peter Pan's a huge spectacle normally, with giant set pieces and people flying and magical things happening. So it was a bit of a challenge to try and figure out how we can do that in the space that we have. We don't have a lot of wing space, but luckily we just fell into a great production plan that allowed us to have the sets that people will expect from the show and the magic and, you know, all the fun, and still do that within the space that we have. And we talked to your Peter Pan earlier. Yes. What was it about her that caught your eye and thought that's our Peter Pan? It wasn't hard. From the time we started her callback, we had a couple of people in mind, different candidates for the role, but she just nailed it to a point where she was almost show ready in the callback, and we still kept an open mind. We still kept trying to say, no, we need to make sure we look at all angles, which we did, but she just came out on top as the best candidate. What do you feel the audience will take away from this actual production? I think there are a lot of neat little points that the text of the show offers to, but what we really want to do is just touch people emotionally. I know that sounds kind of a cliche, but we want to take them on really fun highs with comedy and song and dance, and then we want to kind of hit them in their feelers to make them feel something. So we're taking them kind of like on a up and down roller coaster of fun and emotions, and making them think, and hopefully they'll just leave feeling happy and thinking happy thoughts. Oh, that's awesome.
That's when you would go to me and I would stab you instead.
Peter Pan's always been such a big thing for me. This is my dream role. I normally work at nights, so I don't get to really do community theater because that's like my jobs at night, and I work in dinner theaters. I work in Orlando, so I only take community theater if it's something that like I just have to do, and this is the one role that I've always wanted to do. And even though I know girls play it, for some reason I just always thought a boy would play it, or I'd never get the chance to, because I'm always cast in roles very oddly. So this was a really awesome opportunity. I'm so excited for it, and that's why I'm like this is actually not my normal hair. This is a wig. And I normally don't really dress like this. So you stay in character? I have to, because especially for the kids, the little kids don't, and I try to like just stay an enigma of Peter Pan for them, because it helps in the rehearsal process, because they treat me like Peter Pan, like where they kind of mess around with me. They don't know how old I am, and like they treat me with respect, but with like the respect of another kid. So it's lots of fun. It's crazy, but it's great how magical the theater is, because even if we think like, oh, well, people are going to see this line for flying, or people are going to hear us backstage, or we have two seconds, sometimes we literally 7 seconds to do a quick change in some theater things where you have to change into a completely different character. You don't think you can do it, but that show adrenaline kicks in and you're able to, and then it's completely different to the audience because the audience is really like transformed into a world when they're in theater. So they're not even really paying attention to those mistakes because they're not looking for them.
Pirates, hang out nearby because we're going to move on to your fight next.
Dustin, the director, he's fantastic. His way of directing is very different from a lot of others, and he kind of lets me experience my character and go into what I want to do and what I've thought of, because this is what I've wanted to do like my whole life.
Sometimes that's hard to find in a director.
It
so
is.
When you find someone like that,
very difficult.
It makes it even more magical.
It does, because he has a view, I have a view, but we're able to kind of share things, and even if we're on stage, I can kind of go off to the side, talk to him about it, discuss it, see where we can go from there. And he's put a lot of faith, trust, and pixie dust in me for this, and I will not let him down. I can't let him down. But this is my first lead. In a show, I've usually been like a secondary or the comic relief kind of characters. So this is my first time really having like a majority of the songs and a majority of the dialogue, and I'm so ready for this. I've been prepping as much as I can. Obviously, like coming to rehearsals like this, just try and stay in the mindset and help others stay in the mindset. And it's community theater versus kind of more paid theaters are very different because you have different skill sets, you have different people, you have some people who aren't really theater performers at all, but come in and bring a totally different dynamic to it that you would never see like in these kids. These kids are such hardworking kids. They are so great. They like, you see them kind of mess around during rehearsal, but then when Dustin's like, all right, let's go, they're
up and ready.
They're up and ready, and they know all their lines, and they know all their songs, and they know harmonies, and they're young, and well, some of them, but and the things that they don't know, they're learning like very fast. It's really great seeing kids being introduced to it, and
because I think shows like Glee, those types of things have really brought it back.
Exactly.
And I think a lot of communities have lost theater, and so Bay Street I think does an amazing job for the community, and the types of productions that they put on is phenomenal. You're going to be phenomenal.
Thank you.
And I think we got all that.
Oh, you want me to record?
You better have been, because she was great.
I'm sorry, I was not even paying attention if we were recording or not.
Hey, watch. In 3, 2, 1, and go.
We are sitting here with Mr. Peter Pan. Let me ask you, why in most cases is Peter Pan the girl?
I think mostly because it's a little boy. It's like a 12-year-old boy, and I was called back with a very talented boy who was 15, I think, and I was really nervous actually because I was like, oh my God, a boy playing Peter Pan, and I'm sitting here trying to audition and sing along with him. But the music is all arranged for a woman. Mary Martin originated the role, and it kind of comes off better as a more youthful spirit with a girl because we kind of don't look as rugged and as grown up, and obviously men's voices kind of tend to drop, and my voice is low as it is, but kind of works for a kid.
Yay!
Great, thank you. Okay, now let's do Ugawug, Indians Descend.
So now we're joined with Captain Hook, or from Captain Hook. Tell me a little bit about your character. Is it fun to play a villain?
It's a blast to play a villain, yeah. I mean, what respectable man would give up the chance to play a pirate, right?
Right.
The fun part about the villainy too is the reaction and working with the kids. And I think the way the director has put the thing together, it's a blast. It's the first real villain that I've got to play.
And I hear you actually play 2 roles.
Yes, yes. I play Mr. Darling in the beginning, and then Mr. Darling becomes Captain Hook in this particular production, and then comes back, and it's a fun part because the director has done some fun things with kind of tying the 2 things together to kind of give some indications to the people without being overly direct. So, but yeah, it's a lot of fun. There's a lot of little things like that in the play.
And this is a musical, so
yes, it is.
How is that working out? Do you enjoy that part of it?
I love musicals. I never thought that I would be able to be in one because I play guitar and sing appropriate for guitar. but had not really tried to sing for a musical before. This allows me to do it. My range is limited, but if you act it in, then the character actually becomes kind of as long as the character's singing the song, I'm fine. And the song allows me to be able to do that and really have a lot of fun with it. It's the first musical that I've been in out of 40 plays. But, and the cast that's there and the musical directors have been wonderful. The choreographer, Kim, has been wonderful. It's been, Quinn's been great. It's just, they've been holding my hand, kind of helping me through it. So, yeah, it's wonderful.
And that's what it takes to make it magical.
Sure, yeah. Well, I think it's really going to be. It's very cool because to me, it's about young and old. I get the chance, to me, for Hook to play age. And I think that that Pan is youth.
Right.
And the deal between those two, that to me is why Hook is terrified. And that's where the anger comes out of, from being terrified and stuff. So yeah, it's fun.
So do you have a favorite line that you can do for us in your Hook voice?
Mrs. Hook's little baby boy. Actually, there's several lines from the song. Any time that I talk about Peter Pan, I talk to Peter Pan. Those are fun. Actually, all of it. The writing of it is actually very beautiful. It's in somewhat of Elizabethan prose at times. So there are many, many lines. I think that people really enjoy it for that.
What do you think with this production makes it so special that the audience will want to come and see it?
I think, number one, we have a really good Pan, a wonderful Pan. We have a really good director who I think is bringing the most out of the kids. The kids are a blast, and they're really talented. It's fun to watch kids anyway. It's a double bonus when they're that talented.
Right.
I think that part of it, I think the scenery, the way that they're utilizing the stage, I mean, all of it. It's just, it's Smee, who you'd interviewed before. You're going to be meeting Lorelei. I mean, it's just, it's just an amazing group and amazing, it's a fun play.
Hi, Derek. Thanks for joining us. Tell me a little bit about your character.
Well, I'm playing the role of Smee. He is Hook's right-hand man, who doesn't know his left from right, oddly enough. I mean, it's not really in the show, but he's very intelligent, but what's in here doesn't really make it out here sometimes. So Hook takes advantage of that to an extent, and a lot of that inner process where he's got all these great ideas, but when they come out, they're very larger than life and clumsy and silly, and you never really know what could go wrong.
And I know that you've been in quite a few shows, and 2 or 3, I think, here at Bay Street.
Yes.
What makes this production so special?
This is a big show. It's a big show for any theater to take on. There's flying elements, there's mini set changes, there's a huge cast of kids. Being able to do that in this space, this theater it's an older theater, it's got a lot of charm, it's got a lot of history. Being able to watch all of that come together and see how it's tweaked and altered and find a way to make it work in this space is really interesting process to watch. And we're working with an amazing team. The director, the music director, the choreographer are all very, very talented people that have worked in a lot of other places and have a very vivid concept and vision for the show. And it's really cool to watch that come to life and to be a part of that.
So it sounds like a really special Neverland.
Yeah, it's going to be a very special Neverland. I mean, we're so fly, we literally never land. Like, I stole it off a t-shirt, but, I try.
Perfect. Peter Pan opens November 18th and runs through December 11th. For ticket and show information, visit baystreetplayers.org.